The old cast.
The old. Yeah, I literally just did the one thing I said don't do, which is right into the microphone.
That's ASMR though.
Yeah, exactly.
Some
and
people
also
like
I know I'm hilarious, but when I laugh, when you laugh, just be like, okay, cool. You know.
That'll be fine.
No, sit in front of the fire, the 100% real fire with the 100% 4K starry night sky with the odd shooting star. We have just watched.
Well, this is something I didn't realize behind the wizard's curtain on the podcast.
Yeah,
we've just spent the last 2 hours scripting this whole thing out.
Yeah, so we're just reading the lines off of the laptop at the moment.
Yeah, I didn't think it was done this way. I was impressed by how natural it all came across.
I'm impressed with how meta it is as well, how meta I can be, you know. Everything's deliberate, you know.
Nothing is left up to chance.
Like that was in the script.
That was right in the script.
Yeah. No, yeah. Just before we scripted this entire episode, we actually watched a movie, and I don't know how deep in depth we're going to get with the movie, because we're probably just going to let it ride out.
Oh yeah.
It may be worth, if you haven't seen Aftersun, we may touch on talking about Aftersun, which is a Charlotte Wells film that came out this year. Well,
last year by a day.
Worst. This has been the worst year of my life so far.
Dense with regret.
Oh, it's misery. There's been a record. I mean, this is probably no interest to you. I'm gonna say anyway. There's been a record with I follow the Keswick Mountain Rescue on Facebook.
Yeah.
And 44 minutes into New Year's Day, they got their first call out.
Wow.
Literally 44 minutes into the year, they got a call out, which, to be like, respect to the people, because they were actually normally like 90% of the call outs are people who just don't know what the fuck they're doing in the mountains. But this was like a genuine, like, it was two people who had expertise in the outdoors, and they thought, we're going to go up on, I think it's Great Gable in the Lake District.
Yeah, Green Gables is.
I mean, Green Gable is another mountain.
It's a mountain.
Yeah. So
Anne of Green Gables is all I know.
I climbed Green Gable.
You were Anne of Green Gables.
I am Anna.
You're man of Green Gables.
I'm a man of many gables, to be fair. Some of them are green. But yeah, so I climbed it myself in March 2020, like literally like a week before lockdown.
Yeah, it was easy for you.
Yeah.
I didn't need to call Keswick Mountain Rescue.
No, I didn't, because I'm not a fucking puss. But no, these two ladies went up, obviously, like, in the most horrendous conditions, which would be on New Year's. It's, you know, snow, hail, fireworks, singing, champagne and prosecco.
Yeah,
you know, it doesn't help. But no, one of them broke their ankle on the way down, which kind of sucks. They didn't even do Great Gable in the end, because there's like, so when you go up Great Gable via Green Gable, Green Gable is relatively easy, so we did that, and we did the same thing. And we kind of made a decision when we got to Green Gable. There's this kind of the perfect funnel valley, like miniature valley between Green Gable and Great Gable. Like, it's only like, you go like maybe 150, 100 meters down, and then 100, like 200 meters back up again to get onto Great Gable. But the wind from the entire valley to the left of you channels through that. So it's always like in that little crack, that little butt crack, it's literally like 100-mile-an-hour winds.
Well,
like,
that's what happens in butt cracks, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know about you.
So and tonight we have installed butt mics. So if you hear the odd burp,
it's avant-garde podcasting.
Fartcasting.
Two holes is what it's called. Most podcasts are only concerned with the one hole up top, but we're
trying something new.
Yeah. It's a new gimmick. There's so many podcasts, you have to stand out somehow, and we're increasing the number of holes recorded.
Yeah.
To never before seen heights and depths.
Oh yeah, no, that's exactly right. And all of the conversation is themed around holes.
Yeah,
and cracks.
The movie holes.
Fucking what a classic!
What a classic! I love that we buried the lead on Aftersun. We said we're going to talk about Aftersun.
I mean, we just
watched Aftersun. We go right into talking about Anne of Green Gables.
Yep,
climbing up that big old girl.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is the game we play, and I mean, this is all scripted though. So we actually it's in the script. We're not actually gonna. So actually, that was a little red herring.
That's
what we call in the movie industry. Is it red herring?
It's misdirection. I actually won misdirection 10 years in a row. I just point where to go for people in a ball gown.
I mean, in my trick of the trade, we call it a whoop-de-woo, a whoopsie daisy.
What trade is that? Farting. By the sound of it, if you call it a whoopsie daisy.
Yeah, fart casting.
Fart casting. Yeah.
Woo! Whoopsie doos. Wibbly wobbly.
Oh man. Well, this podcast is known for its sort of
fly on the wall approach,
high sort of philosophical thoughts, deep conversations, the sort of conversations you have at night during some sort of call.
Yeah, so that is true.
I think we're off to a good start.
I mean, it is currently night, and we are on a call. We're not even in the same room right now.
No, I'm currently at the top of Green Gables.
I'm currently
Great Gables
at the Keswick Mountain Rescue headquarters. And we just watched Aftersun
because it's going so badly already.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the problems, is that who the fuck is going to be, what volunteer is going to be ready to get out on New Year's Eve?
None of them. None of them. They were singing Auld Lang Syne.
Yeah, which I didn't sing this year.
Why?
Fair. I mean, it was just it was not New Year's Eve. Yeah. No disrespect to Nick, but it was strange.
It was one of the worst ones.
Yeah, it was terrible, Nick. I mean, he walked James out to the car, and it was raining, and he was just in his socks, and he comes in, he just takes his socks off and spends the rest of the evening barefoot. I'm like, your room is upstairs. You can put another set of socks on.
No, he has one pair of socks.
So the whole time I was just like, Nick, your dogs are out. I cannot pay attention.
Your dogs are out.
You've let the dogs loose.
You've answered the age-old question of who let the dogs out.
Exactly. It was Nick. It's fucking like, mate, I thought I had a premium subscription for a minute. The amount of
dog action I got going on.
Not a doggy style.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh fuck. Oh. I actually did want to touch on speaking of holes, the movie Holes. Did you watch that in English class?
I did indeed.
Exactly. Oh, quality material.
Stanley Yelnats. Shia
LaBeouf.
A classic.
Is he redeemed now?
No, I think it's just going further and further downhill.
Is he?
Are you saying redeemed from holes?
No, redeemed. Like the allegations against him.
No.
Oh,
I know he put a bag on his head and then he sort of lost his mind.
No, so I mean that was kind of goat like behavior, to be honest. I was into that. But no, apparently in his I think maybe one or two of his last relationships, he was just pretty abusive.
There's nothing I believe more readily than that.
Yeah, and it kind of makes sense, especially the life that guy's lived. He's a troubled gentleman. But no, there's an ongoing discussion online, especially when it comes to, just because it's not like, it sounds weird to compare, but it's not on the level of he didn't fucking murder someone. Mm-hmm. He didn't do an Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
He didn't do a Kevin
Psycho
Spacey.
Killer Alec Baldwin.
Yeah. Fucking murderous psycho.
Serial killer.
He killed everyone on set with one bullet.
The magic bullet.
The magic, like the one in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
But no, because he's apparently tried to he's gone sober, went to rehab and done all that shebang. It's is he forgivable? But
no, he needs one banger of a movie. He needs to make Holes too, and then I'll forgive
he needs to come
him.
back to Transformers.
Oh, No.
Transformers was the first film I came out of a cinema and I was like, yeah, films are cool.
Oh,
the first Transformers.
I thought you were going to say the opposite. I thought that was going to be the first.
Well, films fucking suck.
Yeah.
No, for me, that was Bridge to Terabithia.
Really?
Yeah, I came out of that and I was like, did we even go to Terabithia that entire fucking film?
Yeah.
The bridge
in
wasn't...
their mind.
The bridge fell, didn't it? The girl
there's no bridge.
Oh, that's
There's a rope swing.
More.
And she dies on the spoilers for Bridge to Terabithia.
She dies.
She dies. They lull you in with cartoon creatures, and then they throw child death in your face
Yeah,
at
just
a young
out of the
age.
blue. Which, when you're a child watching British, especially when you're thinking it's going to be the same vibe as like Spiderwick Chronicles.
I was thinking precisely the Spiderwick Chronicles.
I read all that. That was the first book series I ever read.
I watched that on a plane.
Ooh, where are you going?
Where was it?
Where are we going?
Oh, Jesus. To Terabithia, actually.
Fucking no rope, yeah.
No rope for me.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm head first into that creek.
That's where she went wrong. She should have phoned to Terabithia.
She had to send it.
She was like, I'm going to send it.
And it was really confusing because that sort of wasn't a term yet.
Yeah.
She just sort of landed head first in the river. They cut that scene out of the film, though.
Yeah, no, it was originally an 18. But I thought, fuck it. It's actually a snuff film.
A snuff film?
Yeah. Snuff film. Snuff
film. Yeah. That all actually happened.
Yeah, she's actually... But yeah, I mean, Holes.
So we're getting back to Holes. The movie we did not just watch.
Imagining things. Sigourney Weaver in it?
You're thinking of Shia LaBeouf. I think she might be in it. Let's look this up.
They've all got those names. That's like
they've got letters in them. There's bloody names.
It's fucking. Why are you talking, dude? Why is that sound coming out your mouth? Isn't she's the angry camp owner?
Yeah, I think so.
I fucking love Sigourney.
We're looking at these names right now. We got Cleo Thomas, Sigourney Weaver, John Voight, Patricia Arquette from
Patricia
Boyhood.
Arquette.
What do you like? Oh, Tim Blake Nelson, my father. Eartha Kitt. This is a bloody all-star cast.
Yeah.
The night sky was dark, for all the stars were in holes.
All the stars are in the holes. It's craters, actually. That's the spoiler alert. That's where all the superstars come down.
I can't remember what happens. I don't know what the plot of that.
They dig holes.
Yeah, but why? For treasure? Is that it?
I don't know. I think
Sigourney Weaver's trying to get treasure or something.
She's using the camp of.
She's using child labour.
Yeah, because it's all the kids have done something naughty, haven't they?
Something naughty.
They've done a naughty thing,
like a crime.
Yeah, no, they've committed a crime,
like statutory rape.
Yeah, like armed battery,
like money laundering.
Yeah, like embezzlement. That's what the little kid that did. Isn't there a little kid
Sam Bankman-Fried?
Yeah, there's a little kid that doesn't talk, isn't there?
Yeah,
and then he only talks to Shia LaBeouf's character because this is a movie,
and that's how movies work.
It's literally as soon as you see him, that he's like, oh, he doesn't talk to anyone. It's like, well, he's definitely going to talk to the main guy.
Yeah,
I mean, I'd talk to Shia LaBeouf in all honesty.
Where he needs a talking to, by the sounds of it.
But yeah, I think they dig holes.
Yeah.
I know that at one point someone digs
like
a
snake.
Scorpion.
Yeah.
Or a scorpion.
The Mandela effect.
Jesus Christ.
Is it a snake or a scorpion?
Oh, and then it gets
I think it might be a scorpion. I think I've made that up. Okay, so the holes.
And it gets a bit Dune-ified.
Like Dune. It's sort of the prequel to Dune.
Yeah. It's like
we wonder what happened on Arrakis before, where all these sandworms
it is actually, to be fair, they never actually... Did they say where it is? It could be Arrakis.
I think it's in New Mexico.
Same thing.
Like High School Musical.
Same nowhere as High School Musical in New Mexico.
Yeah, it's in Albuquerque.
Is it actually?
Yeah. You know what's crazy about when I was a child watching High School Musical, as I did often, because it said it was in New Mexico, I thought New Mexico was a part of Mexico, like Mexico City is.
No, yeah, I mean, that's justifiable. I thought that as well.
So I thought they were all these. I thought like Zac Efron was going to school in Mexico for some reason.
To be honest, I didn't pay attention enough to the film.
Oh, there's so much depth there that you're missing out on. There's a lot of gay subtext in those movies.
Like Top Gun. I mean, it's not
just like Top Gun.
I mean, Top Gun's not really subtext in the first one. It's
that's just text. That is text, mate.
Yeah, good stuff. I guess is when they go to like the resort in the second one. Is that also in?
I believe so.
Because that would make sense. But like the original school doesn't seem like a New Mexico school to me.
No,
it seems more like suburban.
Well, Walter White is working at East High. He's a big fan of the Wildcats.
Get your head in the game. And that game is crystal
meth in the game.
Get your meth in the game. It was there somewhere. You found it. the meth. No, it's the third one. No, I can't.
Yeah, because it's the same school.
There's not trees.
There's not trees in New Mexico. I'd be shocked if it was filmed in New Mexico, but it's definitely set there. And it's the same school in the third one. So
God, I remember watching that in the cinemas.
Same, yeah. And that was truly the event. That's
there was
Avatar.
like feral women in the cinema that were like shrieking every time Zac Efron came on screen.
A surprisingly short man.
I'm pretty sure that's the first and only time I've been in the cinema when a child has just thrown up.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Okay, just heard someone at one point halfway through the cinema just like and then just like a scream.
A scream.
Yeah. Could you imagine just projectile vomiting on the back of someone's head? Like,
oh my god, that's my one true dream.
To be fair, when I watched Holes in cinema in English, I did that.
In English,
yeah.
Oh man,
it's right on the back of Miss Simon's head.
Oh Jesus Christ!
I was like, fine, I'll put a different film on.
You were sitting at the back of the class as well. It was incredible.
Yeah, it's got a good. I got a good aim.
Got arc on it.
Yeah.
Why would that be assigned Holes? I don't think there's much because Americans get signed like they get made to read like Moby Dick and stuff. Which
we had that as well.
That's like a book in the same sense that Don't Worry Darling is like a movie.
Did we get assigned Holes? I thought we were just watching it like Christmas.
No, I studied Holes.
Did you?
And I study Holes now. No, we studied Holes. I
don't know if
I remember reading it meticulously. I forgot that it was a scorpion in the hole, but
yeah. Well, I remember that bit. I think I wrote about that bit.
Yeah,
just that bit. The scorpion in the hole was the name of my essay.
The scorpion in the hole. The name of your essay.
I don't remember any. I
don't remember anything
because I was quite early on in.
No, this was sixth form. No, I did.
For me, it was like I think it was like year 8.
I think it was year 8,
maybe even earlier than that. Well, I remember because we did there was Inspectacles.
I never did that. I did something. I think I did Of Mice and Men instead.
I did Of Mice and Men as well. And Spectacles. So fucking.
What did
I know some people did Wuthering Heights.
I did not do what I've never read. I've never read Wuthering Heights.
Never read Wuthering Heights. I think I've got it upstairs somewhere.
You can keep it. I'll come to it in my own time.
No. You have to read it now.
Oh Jesus.
To be fair, I remember Of Mice and Men being pretty. I actually enjoyed that one.
Yeah, that's a good book.
It's actually good.
It's not Holes.
It's not quite like Holes.
Not a book made for babies.
Yeah, but Holes is good. Okay. Hey, bring it back now. Holes is good. What is a good book that I think is also made for babies? I don't know if it is actually. Have you read The Veld?
I've never heard of The Veld.
You've never heard of The Veld?
No.
It's about. I think a veld is like a savannah. I think it's the same thing. Might be wrong, but it's about a like the book is really weird. It's like about a family who have a simulator in their house. It's like they go through this door, and anything that the kids dream of,
like Narnia,
or imagine, is in that room.
Like Bridge to Terabithia.
Yeah. So at one point they imagine the girl dying in Bridge to Terabithia.
What about Fridge to Terabithia? It's like Lion and Witch of the Wardrobe, but they go through a fridge.
There's like a play on eating.
Oh yeah,
eating healthy. Yeah, only 5 a day. She doesn't eat 5 a day, so she dies.
That is what happens.
A fridge lands on her.
No, that would not be appropriate for children.
I personally didn't think. The Veld I don't think is very appropriate for children. I'm trying to remember exactly what happens, but basically at some point they imagine a lion. Yeah. And the lion just does some shit. Much like Narnia. Yeah. The lion does some shit. Yeah, but that lion's a bit of a dickhead. What was his name? Like Aslan. Liam Neeson. Oh, speaking of... that's problematic. Is it? He just beats up Liam Neeson's problematic. Are you talking about how he said he wants to beat up a black person? Beat up a black bastard. Could you imagine that coming out of Aslan's mouth? Someone's done it. Someone's made that for sure. I wonder if Liam Neeson's technically redeemed because I think he's fine. Yeah, I mean... He didn't do it. He didn't do it. He just felt like it. And to be honest, like his friend was raped or something. Exactly. Whose granddad hasn't at one point said, exactly, I want to beat up a black person? A black bastard. Or it's just like, what if you see a big black person, Yeah, what if? What if? That's like the first thing that's like, why do you have to describe that? Oh, yeah. Man. Granddad. Yeah. But he did redeem himself because he appeared on Atlanta. Yeah. And played himself about being in the council club because he said that.
Oh.
He then proceeds.
It was not in the council club though, because nothing happened to him.
No,
he just kept making movies.
I mean, worse movies.
Yeah, well, worse than the Phantom Menace.
I think Taken's worse than Phantom Menace.
I've never seen Taken. I've never seen a single Taken.
I mean, spoiler alert. She gets taken every time.
Wow. Is it the same girl every time?
No, I think at the last one he gets taken.
What? Oh
changing.
My God.
I think it's her, then it's the mum and her, then it's just the mum, then it's him, and then it's the president.
Oh, man.
I'm spilling water on myself.
Having too much fun.
Whale of a time when you talk about Liam Neeson. Yeah, he's not like. I guess he's. Yeah, we'll let him. We'll let him slide as just old man shouting at cloud energy.
Yeah,
when he said that.
Yeah,
I guess it's not our place to say.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't do anything. It's like if he did do what he wanted to do. Yeah, if he got the chance, then he's being naughty and he shouldn't be allowed to play Ra's al Ghul. But
he's being naughty. He gets sent to Sigourney Weaver's camp.
Yeah, I got to dig these holes.
Yeah, they got to redo Holes, directed by
Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, and Liam Neeson is the lead. Isn't Holes? Is it Spielberg?
No, no.
Leave it. Okay, that's not a long shot. It's a Disney film, isn't it?
Andrew Davis.
Oh, never heard of him.
He's pretty much the Spielberg of Holes movie.
Yes. What's he done? Let's see what else he's done.
Let's have a look at Andrew Davis. The Fugitive, Under Siege, Collateral Damage, Steven Seagal's Above the Law.
Is that Enemy of the State? Oh no, it's Holes.
No, that's Holes.
That's Holes.
Easy mistake to make. Yeah, Code of Silence, a Chuck Norris film.
Oh my God! Okay, no, he's not got a very. He's not got
the resume of Spielberg, does he?
Yeah, I get muddled up. Just get a bit confused sometimes. Well, like I said, I think I said the other day, like if someone put a gun to my head and said the name of Steven Spielberg film, I'd shit myself a little bit. I'd probably say Titanic.
Wow. No.
And then if someone told me to name a James Cameron film,
you'd say Munich.
I'd say
AI, artificial
I mean,
intelligence.
it's normally, I'm proud of myself for saying James Cameron and not David Cameron because I get them to mixed up a lot.
They do have the same last name.
They do, but they've brought different meanings to the same word of rock bottom, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, why is James Cameron obsessed with water?
He loves it. That's where he wants to be. I don't have anything against him for wanting to escape into the water every time he makes a movie.
Yeah, especially if it's Avatar.
Yeah.
Yeah, like...
Now he's just making all his movies about water. But all his movies are about water in a way.
What else has he done?
Aliens.
Did he do Aliens?
Yeah.
Is there water in Aliens?
It's got to be some water.
Somewhere.
Blood is a certain percentage of water. Titanic, obviously. A lot of water in that. And ice, which is, of course, the solid form of water.
Exactly.
Avatar, The Way of Water.
Yeah. The original Avatar
The
does
Abyss,
have some...
That's all about water.
Fuck yeah, I forgot he did The Abyss.
Terminator 2.
Fuck, I forgot he did Terminator 2.
I mean...
Why does he keep doing sequels? Idiot.
Yeah.
Just do the first one.
That's what he did with Avatar.
Yeah, true.
Still yet to make Titanic 2, but we'll have it. In Terminator 2, the guy sort of turns into water. Like a sort of metal water, but
Terminator 2
fluid,
so good.
nonetheless.
That.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have even thought.
I don't know what else. What do you make? Jurassic Park 2.
See, now I'm going to start naming Spielberg films. E.T.
That's a Spielberg film.
I know. Did Spielberg do... Who was the one who did that film where the kid is massive?
The kid is massive. What are you talking about?
Is it
Charlie Chaplin?
Is it Tim Allen? Is it a Tim Allen film?
You're going to have to give me a little more.
Am I thinking of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? But like...
That's the opposite.
Yeah.
You're talking about Honey, I Grew the Kids.
I was going to try and do this whole episode without...
Oh, we're beyond that, sir.
Beyond that. Right, get the letter.
True Lies. That's another one he did. I haven't seen True Lies, though.
Fuck. Oh, who did... No, I'm just going to name... No, he didn't do the quiz show, did he?
No.
Who's the
Quiz show. That's Robert Redford.
You say that as if I'm supposed to know that.
You just asked.
Yeah,
I've
true.
never met anyone who's known the film Quiz Show, so
Oh,
I was shocked that you even mentioned it.
sorry.
You're just a Ray Fiennes kind of guy.
What's Ray Fiennes?
What do you mean, what's Ray Fiennes?
Ray Fiennes what?
He's in Quiz Show.
Is he?
Yeah.
I think I had a panic
Are you
attack
thinking of a
halfway
different
through it.
movie?
No, I think I'm thinking the same thing. I was going to search something before that. Who directed?
The movie with the big kid.
Yeah.
The kid who goes
I'm going to see if
massive.
it's a Tim Allen film. It might not be a Tim Allen film. Tim Allen.
You're thinking of Toy Story.
Yes.
In the child is large.
It's not a
compared to the
Tim Allen
toys.
film. As soon as I saw Tim Allen's face, I was like, well, it's not. It's the other guy who is like B-Tech Tim Allen.
Ray Romano.
Why is that so
Seinfeld.
funny?
Jerry Seinfeld.
Definitely not Jerry. I fucking hate Jerry Seinfeld.
Why?
He's just a bit of a prick.
Why?
Didn't hug Kesha.
Oh,
Why wouldn't he do that?
because he didn't know who she was.
That's fucking
He
rude.
didn't recognize
I'll
her.
hug anyone, even if I don't know him. Nah, to be fair, Godspeed to him, I guess. But
Yeah. I think he's like the highest paid comedian in the world.
yeah, that's why I don't like him.
Yeah, he does not.
When's the last
deserve
time he
it.
said something funny?
A couple of minutes ago.
How do you know? You're probably
I
asleep.
can feel it.
I think it's Honey. I think there's a sequel to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Honey, I Grew the Kids.
and
There is a
they-
sequel to it. I just can't remember what it's called. Look up Rick Moranis. He'll be in it.
Yeah, that's who I'm thinking is B-Tech Tim Allen.
That's so rude.
It is though. Look at him.
Are
He
you
looks like a
kidding?
mixture of Tim Allen.
He's
that guy.
B-Tech Woody Allen.
Who's the guy
who doesn't commit
true,
crimes.
True. He is unproblematic Woody Allen.
Yeah.
He's also. He reminds me of the other guy with the white hair.
God.
Yeah.
Ah.
Was it Spaceballs? Am I thinking of
Are you
Spaceballs?
thinking of Spaceballs?
No, I'm not thinking of Spaceballs. No, I swear they make him big in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. They make
him
someone big.
I haven't. Are you thinking of Big?
No.
That's Tom Hanks.
Honey, yeah, the sequel to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids is Honey, I Blew Up the Kids.
Ah,
And I've seen that.
yeah. And who directed it? That's what you wanted to know.
Steven Spielberg says right here. Randall Kleiser. The
not a real name.
Kleiser, the director of he directed Grease.
Wow.
I do like a bit of Grease. And he's also directed The Blue Lagoon, which I haven't seen. You seen The Blue Lagoon?
No.
Flight of the Navigator. Isn't that supposed to be
Blue
like
Lagoon sounds like something James Cameron
a
would
bit of a
direct.
cult classic? That does look like it. That's cult classic energy.
Oh, yeah. That boy looks like he's on
On
a
the
lot
cult.
of drugs.
There's a Charles Gambino song called Flight of the Navigator, so I
Yeah.
don't know if there's any connection there.
Probably.
Probably. Everything's connected in some way.
Whoa.
Love Wreck. That definitely
Dude.
looks like it's got Amanda Bynes in it. And does it? It has Amanda Bynes in it.
What?
I'm so clever.
Hairspray?
No, Love Wrecked. It's another
No.
Randall Kleiser film. He's like, he's kind of like
He's sort of an
He's
auteur.
kind of like Steven Spielberg. I think of him. Same. Rick Moranis. I love how they. Zelensky. Wayne Zelensky.
Zelensky.
That's his name. Zelensky. Yeah, all right. I'm
So, we watched Aftersun.
yeah, so anyway, we actually should. Oh, yeah. I mean, that was yeah, just to get away from. I mean, speaking of, I think watching Honey, I Blew Up the Kids
Yeah.
gave me the same traumatic response as watching Aftersun. In a weird way.
Please elaborate.
Just because it's like, there's like, it's in that weird realm of where, like, if it came out today, it would be like a Hallmark film.
Mm-hmm.
But because it came out at the time, it was kind of like a banger. Not like a
Yeah.
banger, but like a blockbuster.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's like any film with, what was his name?
Rick Moranis.
Rick Moranis.
Wayne Moranis.
The white-haired guy from Pink Panther. What's his fucking name?
Steve Martin.
Steve Martin.
There we go.
And then the guy
We
who
should just
also,
do this for 2 hours. You
and
just,
the guy who's with him in Planes,
John Candy.
John Kennedy. He's the same
Candy.
vibe. Candy.
Yeah.
Oh, not the president, John
No.
F. Kennedy.
No.
Fuck off.
It wasn't, in fact, dead President John F. Kennedy. Shot President John F. Kennedy.
Is Candy still alive?
Oh,
Surely
no, he's
dead.
super dead.
Yeah, I was going to say he
Loads
must,
of
he must be
heroin.
dead as well.
Yeah.
Was it heroin?
I think so.
Legend.
Some drug. He definitely overdosed.
Definitely. I mean, anyone.
All those
from
SNL
heroin,
guys.
Yeah.
They're all dead.
I can't believe. Yeah, I can't believe Rick Moranis is still alive. You know?
I can. He stopped doing movies.
Because
if
he did one more, he'd fucking overdose.
Yeah, that's how they. That's the only way they managed to get.
Was
any
he
footage.
Flubber? Was he Flubber? Or was that Robin?
That's
Williams?
Robin Williams.
Fucking hell! Especially as a Robin Williams fan. Can't believe I said that.
His magnum opus.
It's one of those same vibes, though. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, yeah. I could. I could Mandela effect myself into believing Rick Moranis was in that movie.
Yeah, a lot of Mandela effects on this episode.
Yeah.
I love how you tried to steer this towards Aftersun and I've already derailed it.
Look, I'm doing my best here. This is a runaway train.
Stay on topic. And I'm at the helm. All gas, no brakes. But no, it does trigger that same weird little realm of movies. Tim Allen as well.
Yeah.
And Christmas films do it as well. And which
it's like negative nostalgia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is the same thing with watching. Oh man! Like as soon as they he answered the phone and was being like, we asked for like a 2-bed room, and I was like, oh, that reminds me of like those good old days when you're go to your parents plan a cheap holiday. Have you been on holiday much? Family holidays?
Not since my parents got divorced, but
when did they get divorced?
When I was about 15.
Oh, okay. So were there young family holidays?
Yeah.
You know, where'd you go? What was your poison?
Sometimes Europe, sometimes like Florida a couple times.
No way. I would not think you've been to Florida.
A couple times. Not since I was like really young. Like we were literally there when there was a hurricane.
I mean, there's still hurricanes there.
But not when we're there, because we're never there. Because my parents got
like
divorced.
the Florida Project. You see Willem Dafoe?
I have not seen the Florida Project. I need to. Willem Dafoe, my most watched actor of last year.
Well,
I saw 8 Willem Dafoe films last year.
And you didn't watch the Florida Project?
No, I was planning. That's why I thought, because I was trying to boost my Willem Dafoe numbers, but I never managed to do that one. But yeah, we were hiding in the closet while there was a hurricane going on.
Did you die?
Yeah.
Rip.
Yeah, I know. It was like the day after tomorrow.
Do you remember it all? Was it crazy?
Yeah. It's like one of my earlier memories, actually. Just because it's so weird.
Was it exciting or traumatizing at that age?
It was really boring.
Did anything actually happen?
No.
Okay.
There was. We were just in a closet, and then looking out of it, we could see a TV where there were all the tornado warnings. And then nothing really happened. I played Pokemon Emerald the whole time.
Oh, what a fucking game, though.
Oh, yeah.
What a game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Good for you.
I know. So, yeah, have been on holiday in various places.
Yeah, and almost died in a hurricane, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the last family holiday is what this film reminded me of, because that was like a resort sort of thing.
Yeah.
It was in Borneo.
Fucking hell.
I know. Yeah, it was like after my parents had said that they were getting divorced, but it's like already planned.
Okay, so they were like, here's a send-off.
one big last one.
One last time we're ever going to be a happy family.
Well.
Whoa.
It's sort of like the whole like, we'll see if we can make it work sort of thing.
Okay.
But obviously it's not going to, because,
for the kids.
Yeah. Is it like not even just like make the holiday work, but like see if we can, now that we've sort of stated that there's a problem, we can try and fix the problem,
Yeah.
That didn't happen. So it's really just like an excruciatingly awkward holiday.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, those like environments where it's just very icy and like there's tension there, but there's no like active hostility at all. It's just sort of passive.
It's just there is like an elephant in the room at all times. Yeah. But no one's gonna ever touch on it, really.
Yeah. And it feels like impossible to touch on it as well. It's not like there's gonna be a big fight or anything. It's just like this is just not right.
Yeah.
And this situation needs to stop.
Was it just who went?
It was me, my sister, and my parents.
Okay. You got brothers as well?
Yeah. Yeah, but they were
way older.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, one's 4 years older, and then the other one's 6 years older.
Yeah.
And they were like at uni or in New Zealand at that point. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
no, it is, because they didn't have to experience that whole thing.
Deal with that.
Yeah, so that there's, I feel like that sort of, I use this word a lot recently because of the things in my life, but like it just felt like limbo, especially because it's abroad.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's like a last moment of childhood in a way, because after that, like everything felt sort of tainted a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And being in a different place, it sort of feels fake. It feels like a movie, and it feels like nothing is particularly real.
I think the resort environment contributes to that so much,
because everything in a resort is like manufactured to be like. I was reading a story about cruises. There's like a David Foster Wallace, who's a writer. He was sent by a magazine to go review a cruise, and it's just like, this is like hell on earth. The whole thing is just custom built to make you forget about life, and they just want to make you feel pampered, and like there are no problems whatsoever. Like there's towel boys who are standing like 5 feet away from you. As soon as you finish with a towel, take your towel, give you a new towel, but you can't see them ever. They're like hiding.
Yeah.
Because if you see the machine of what is making this pampered experience, then the illusion all breaks down. Resorts are exactly like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's just this like hugely constructed thing where you can't see any of the cogs, and it's not like real life at all. It's like you've slipped in to a pocket dimension of supposed luxury.
It's manufactured luxury. It's like, and it's always, I don't know if it's the right way to describe it, but it's like, it's luxury aimed at like a more like budget audience, in the sense that you can tell that it's not as effortless that if you like went to like, you know, like the bee's knees resort,
like Dubai.
My experience is quite like similar. Like we kind of had a regular poison. We went to Lanzarote because my grandparents had a villa in the Canary Islands.
I don't know where the Canary Islands are.
Literally just like off the coast of Africa, pretty much. Yeah. So it's it's the Atlantic, but it's got the same energy as Mediterranean. Apart from that, it's volcanic, but it's Spanish, so everyone speaks Spanish there. And it's like weird, like when you go at different intervals in your life to the same place, as a holiday destination, it's crazy. And that's kind of like where I got my distaste for like the resort vibe, and the kind of where I could see as you grow up the cracks in the facade appear. I just can't do it. And I think the last holiday, oh god, how old was I? I wanted to go one more. We sold the villa now. I wanted to go one more time to just kind of like, I felt like I need closure from that place, because like my last experience there was just fucking weird. Like not in a good place mentally anyway, so I'm already kind of seeing everything with like a dark cloud, like 17, 18 I think it was. And I remember like most nights I would just, and it's crazy how like, so with the first, like I held Lanzarote as a kid in such a high regard, because it was like, this is great. You know? All the buildings are like white and pretty, and there's volcanoes in the background, there's palm trees, like the sea's full of like colorful fish. This is great, you know. And like there was a big gap where we couldn't really, like during like when like 2008 hit and there was a bit of a recession, we couldn't really afford and justify going, so we started just caravanning instead. And during that gap, I idolized it. I was like, I can't wait. Like talking to my cousins, like, oh, well, we gotta go to Lanzarote. It's gonna be so cool and do all this stuff. And then I remember when I was like 15, 16, I can't remember much about that. But when I went when I was 18, well, I think I might have been 17 actually, it was just like so many things happened where, like, especially with this, like with watching Aftersun, with that fly on the wall experience, it felt kind of like a movie. The way it was telling me,
like a movie.
My life was a movie, dude.
What I like about my life is it's like
my life
a movie.
It's like a real cinema movie.
It's like a life. It's what I like about my life. It's like a life
in a movie. and the movie's in a life.
Anyway, your in-laws are Aussie.
Yeah. Anyway, so immediately, like I noticed, you get to like you just notice more things. Like the airport, you get there. The airport is huge.
Yeah.
But the tourist industry in like Canary Island is kind of dying, so it's empty, and like all the kiosks are shut apart from like 2, and it's like everywhere's dusty, and it's just a bit like, okay, this feels a bit like an aftermath sort of thing.
Yeah.
And you get into like a taxi, and the guy's like, he's got no seatbelt on, he's on his phone the whole time, and he's just ragging it around. The car's kind of like, I'm like, would this pass an MOT? You know. You get to what I think our place is Costa to Geese, which is, you know, these manufactured towns that aren't actually real towns. They're just resorts all in a big bubble. And we get to our one, and like half of the shops and banks and stuff that I remember are all shut. At the top of like where we go down to our thing. We go down to the thing, and like the pool's the same and the vibe's relatively similar. The first night, a guy comes up on our patio, starts looking for like phones and stuff. And then I think he starts to try and like, because all of the
like a robber.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like a thief. And all the things are like barred.
Yeah.
And he had like a rod with him. So what I think he would have done if he got caught, my dad caught him. My dad was just awake, luckily. But he was, you know, I think they get their rod and they just kind of get it through the villa. Yeah. And just try and see if they can hook anything off your bedside table as you're sleeping. Just fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But like that happened, and I was like, this is not the place that like childhood me remembers. And then like the last one, and the kind of thing is, it made me appreciate other things. Like we went off into like the actual like, so you go to the north of the island, tourism starts to slow down, and it's more about like you go to a village and it's an actual functioning fishing village. Yeah, there's no like big grand towering resort that's like in the shadow of it or anything dystopian like that. But there was still like, we went camel riding, which I'm already like, at that age, I'm already like, okay, this is ethically grey. And like, I don't think we went camel riding properly in the end. We were just where the camels were. And I remember watching, one of the camels just died on the spot.
Oh my God.
And like a digger came over and picked it up and just went off of it.
What?
Just went round the corner, just disappeared with this, like a bulldozer, like yeeted it up. Just in front of like, there's me who's already taken this in as like a what the fuck moment. Yeah. But there's like kids in the line watching this dead camel.
Oh my God.
And like all the other camels are just sitting there, and I'm like, this is just not.
Next.
this is just not doing it for me. No. And it just was crazy. Like it kind of reminded me, especially at the beginning of Aftersun, where they make an emphasis to kind of, with the sound design, to keep the sounds of the construction workers in the background. Yeah. Because that's like another thing, like on Costa to Geese and all of these resorts, there's like maybe 4 resorts still existing. Yeah. But then there's all these half-built resorts around it where these like ghost towns where people just ran out of money. Yeah. And I just find that so jarring. Yeah. And I was just like, the year, like I think when I was like 15 when I went, I saw those and I was like, cool, I want to explore them. But then like when I got a bit older and I was like, why they even exist in the first place? It's like, this is all just like a money like
the money washed up and it's just dead land.
Yeah, it was crazy. So like I think when I was watching the beginning of Aftersun, almost felt difficult because it like brought me back to that. It was but impressive that it could bring me back to that
definitely
in the first place.
Yeah.
But, no hurricanes though.
No. Well, that wasn't a resort. I think the Borneo one is like the only like resort
thing.
Yeah. That was my parents' last gasp. Like, we're doing a resort. This will save everything.
They got a voucher in the post. And that'll do the trick.
Oh, I hope so. We saw orangutans there. It was a great time. Like wild orangutans. Yeah.
I'm not a fan of orangutans.
That's so sad for you.
And there's some people in my life that if they hear this podcast and hear me say that, they're not going to be happy.
Yeah, it's me.
Yeah, fuming.
My favorite animal.
Oh, yeah?
I'd kill for an orangutan.
Fucking hell, bro.
They're so good. They're orange and they've got big arms. What more can you ask for? Those are the 2 boxes I want to check when it comes to animals.
That's like Donald Trump. Same thing, really.
He doesn't have long arms.
I don't know. I've seen him play golf.
Yeah. How is he?
Long arms.
Not as good as an orangutan.
Flabby arms. Yeah. Seen an orangutan play golf. Yeah,
Boy, the amount of centripetal force
the power
generated by those big arms can't be stopped.
Cannot be stopped.
No.
I do find it interesting, kind of like how you can know it's like the same feeling when you were in Borneo and you can feel the tension.
Yeah.
And I never really. I think as a kid, I think at times I was quite hard to cater for.
Yeah.
And I kind of see it now, like a lot in the background, that like, especially watching that, like a lot of situations where probably in the background, there were difficult things were happening to keep me away from those things.
Yeah.
When we've been on holiday, I think Canvas Holiday was like, we did a lot of these. So Canvas, I don't know if they're like international or if they're just in France, but we did a lot of these like kind of weird campy, like sometimes we went camping, sometimes we were in like Centre Parks vibes, like in those like temporary home things, static caravan sort of vibe, but a bit bigger. And we had a lot of those trips, and I remember just like stuff being like uncomfortable. Yeah. And like stuff like in hindsight, like my mum had like food poisoning for an entire trip once. I didn't know until like 5 years later. She was like, yeah, I was throwing up all the time. But like they keep it like away from me. Yeah. And it's just like a very...
It feels like the whole of childhood really. Like it's like one big resort.
Yeah. Oh, fucking hell. I mean, it's manufactured.
Yeah.
Your parents are the towel boy.
Exactly.
That's the name
of the episode, isn't it? Your parents are the towel boy. Yeah. No, that sort of feels. It feels weird to like look back and recontextualize things from your child. When I was diagnosed with autism at 21, I feel that's a very confusing time to go through when like every moment of your life now has to be seen through a different lens. Yeah, and like how people have seen you throughout your entire life. It's weird to notice sort of how oblivious you were as a child and how sort of easy life was made for you. It's like I'm sort of skeptical when people say that your childhood is the best time of your life because it feels so like limited, but it is very easy in that you just sort of go to school and then it's like a game. You just just go to school every day. Exactly. Do lessons. Everything's sort of set out for you.
Saying childhood's like a game is the most autistic thing I've heard you say.
Yeah, and that's impressive.
Which is yeah. No, I mean it's especially like I never want to say I've had a traumatic childhood. I think that's always a weird thing to say. Yeah. But I think everyone has had traumatic childhoods in their own way. Yeah. And I think that's entirely like valid. But I would say like my childhood, like that instantly makes me think about before when I'd get like really anxious before a new stage of my life. Yeah. My dad would be like, when I was a kid, these were the best years. Yeah. And I've never been like, what? Yeah. You know, and you got like the people who like miss school and you got the people. Insanity to me. I'm like, that's ridiculous. Yeah. And like, I have like a lot of good childhood memories and there's a lot of stuff that I think my current life reflects those memories. But at the same time, I'm like, there was a lot of stuff in my childhood that was like not it. Yeah. School being one. And I think also like, I mean, I remember one of the key things was when I started sixth form was when my dad was like, yeah, sixth form was some of the best years of my life. And then I went on to uni and that was some of the best years of my life. And I was like, oh, cool. And then, you know, I dropped out halfway through sixth form and then didn't go to uni until 7 years later. Yeah. And that's only when I've really kind of found my spot. Like, I still don't think I could go to an actual uni. Yeah. No offense to CSM, but like a academic. Like, I just don't, or like the whole uni experience of going into like uni housing in a different part of the country. Could not do it. But like,
why do you think?
just, I think like just my head,
Yeah.
And just like one of the things I kind of hate it. I have been here this whole time.
Yeah.
This is my only house I've lived in.
Yeah.
The longest I've stayed away from this house is probably like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, that's intimidating to think about, especially when you think about like transition. But I think I found like a lot of relatability when you first mentioned to us that you got diagnosed. Because it took me a while, and it's a different beast entirely, but like I was undiagnosed anxiety disorder for like the majority of my childhood.
Yeah.
Which it's not only until you get older and you start to figure that out, and you finally, like I finally saw my diagnosis on paper for the first time when I was applying for a disability ISA under the university, which in hindsight kind of crazy to think about, especially like the response I got from like my parents were being like, you don't got a disability.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, like it's not like that, and it's that kind of journey. Like I've had to go back on forms my parents have filled in where they've just ignored like, does this person have any like not issues, but like anything that should be made aware of with certain things. I'm like, no, you have to put this down, because like funnily enough, I've suffered from this since like the age of like I think 7 was the first time that I'd experienced symptoms. So I think like, especially for you, it must be that same beast where you find out and then you reflect on every situation that you found difficult, or where you found like a little bit like alienated, I guess is a good word to use.
Yeah.
And just being like, oh fuck, that's what it was.
Yeah. And like things keep coming up, and then you also have to like, you have to change your own conception of yourself in a way.
Oh yeah.
If you've gone through 21 years of thinking of yourself some way, like, and it's hard enough for other people to change their conception of you, which they will if they have like this new piece of information. But yeah, that I like the couple months after being diagnosed was really difficult, just because of that. It's difficult time.
Yeah. No, I bet. I mean, it kind of makes you think of it, because like funnily enough, our friendship goes back further than I'd ever have thought. Like,
same.
Like digging up like the Cubs pictures, knowing that we used to do stuff like that together, and like there's no. I mean, I didn't say it at no point, and I don't want to alienate you now by describing my experience as being like your friend, but like finding out that you were autistic, I was like, that feels right. And that feels kind of like clarity, at least even for me, knowing you as like, and funnily enough, when a lot of like my other friends when they found out that they've had something long term like that, and they find out, it's always I don't know, like I've never really turned around and been like, wow, really? It's always been like, and that's fine. But I can imagine when it is you. I mean, I know from like a similar experience of kind of coming to terms with my own neurodivergency. It's fuck's sake, I never know if I quite like that word, but it is that it's so relatable, and that comes up a lot. I can tie this into Aftersun,
professional broadcast,
where it is like on these trips away, anxiety comes up a lot. It's always like a battle, and like I get pieces of different holidays come up when I think about like that film, and especially like the relationship side of things, like kind of the relationship between the girl and Sophie and I can't remember the mate. Is he Callum? Yeah. Which is I don't know. It put me in a weird place seeing the dynamic between them and kind of finding relatability in both.
Yeah.
Because in one side of it, I'm like coming up to 26 and he's playing a 30-year-old, and it's like, I'm thinking about, God, he had that kid at 19.
Yeah.
And like knowing that that's like something he's dealing with for the entire film. So he's playing a dad, but he's also playing like a relatively young guy who's on holiday in Turkey. He's he's playing both of those roles, whilst this girl is probably wiser beyond her years, which is kind of what you see in the dynamic where she refuses to hang out with the girls close to her age, but she ends up hanging out with those teenagers.
Yeah.
And I've been the teenagers, and I've also not been a father, but I felt like him.
Yeah.
All three of those roles in like, whether it's been like going caravanning or going camping or something like that, or going to these like resorts.
Yeah.
It's weird to kind of, I mean, I enjoyed that part of the film, but like it was like, whoa, like hard to watch at first, but then kind of found it comfy in a way.
What do you think?
Why do you think comfy? I mean, there's always, I don't know, like I guess it's just a broader spectrum of what I look for in films, comfort and relatability.
Yeah.
Like the majority of like my favorite films are like, I'm trying to more now enjoy films for what they are instead of enjoying films for what I see in them. But there still is, like with Aftersun is a good example of where, like, especially by the end of it, I was like, okay, I like this because I'm finding pieces of myself in it.
Yeah.
As opposed to, the score is really good, or anything like that, or like the sound,
I think that's what art should more so be. I think it's an easier trap to fall into where it's like, you like the sort of construction of something more so than like you just think something is well done, rather than sort of actually speaks to you. I think if you really want to, like, what you actually want to go for is to try and find films that do speak to you, or music or books or whatever.
And the best is both, Best if you can do both, you've come onto something.
Yeah,
I've always used that, especially when you in the realm of Letterboxd, when I rate them, it's like I cannot give something 5 stars unless I really found myself, or found something that's like, if I don't feel like a different person after it, if that makes sense, or like a discovered person. I think 4.5 sometimes. Like I gave this one a 4.5 because I really was kind of channeling, like feeling that.
Feels almost personal, even though like the director doesn't know you.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things that I can feel like I can talk about, like that, like I saw in that film when I see multiple layers to it, and like, because like on top of the relation, like I can name like the relationship between them two, the relationship between them and the place, and the fact that it's this construction site, half-built resort, and they're kind of, and I don't know if I'm reading in, but it looks like they were sneaking onto other nicer resorts. I don't know if they were actually doing that, but I kind of got that sort of like, okay.
Well, they're definitely going around places.
Yeah.
Because there's that bit where they sing happy birthday to him in the amphitheater bit. So.
And there's obviously the bit where when they play pool with the 2 dudes, and that one dude is like, oh yeah, we're over the road at the other resort. Yeah, I think they were also over the road at the other resort. They've just come to use this resort's facilities, and obviously she didn't have the all-inclusive badge, which she then got given. But I think I got a lot from her watch, like the way she was watching the older kids. Yeah, and that kind of childlike wonder of seeing intimacy for the first time, or seeing like how older people are around each other. Yeah,
it feels sort of like growing up too fast in a way.
Yeah, and I think like I related to that a lot. Like I was like, I know. It's more even it's not even whether it's too fast, but it's like that exposure to something young, which then develops into something in the future. Because I do want to know, like, it does make me curious about. Because it jumps to her in the future when she's an adult. She's she's in bed with a girl, so it's just assumpted that she's in a same-sex relationship. But then you can hear the baby crying, so maybe she has had a relationship, a hetero relationship, and whether she's walked in her father's footstep and had a young kid, a kid young. So like the same as what he did. And I kind of found that really interesting because it was like, I don't know, it's the same as like in like family, where even though you see it, you still mimic it, and it becomes part of you. So that, like, in that aspect, the layers of a film like that so into it. Like I'm like, this is I can pull so much more than just like this is a film about a guy having a difficult time with his daughter at a resort.
Yeah.
But then you're seeing it through her lens. So really, apart from that one scene where he's at the edge of the bed, like not a very happy Sally, you don't really see too much struggle.
No.
Really. You see kind of, he's picking up
Well, it's like the sort of thing where you sort of see it, but it's not clear because you're a child. You know?
Yeah.
Like it's still there. You just don't have the wisdom to interpret it.
Like if you showed that to a kid, they wouldn't. They like if you showed a kid the film, they would not see it.
Yeah.
It's like you'd be like, why is he crying? You don't get it. Stupid. Go watch Bridge to Terabithia.
Go swing over a bridge.
Go dig a hole. You stupid. No, I think when I saw Aftersun first, it's one of those films where I was like, I really want to enjoy that film. And then I actually have enjoyed it, and it's annoying because like there's films that don't do that as well. Like I think the last one was the After Yang, the latest.
Oh, I never watched After Yang.
The latest, I can't remember, Kogonada.
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 Disgusting.
I really wanted that to be good, and I wanted that to hit, but it didn't. But I think this did. I really felt like I got that attachment to it. And sometimes I like when. Do you ever find like what's a film that you watched and wasn't expecting to be hit as much as you did?
Malignant. No, I mean it didn't hit me, but I love Malignant on a very deep level.
I mean, I think okay. No, I think I got what you mean by that. I think that's the same. I don't know. It might be. Would it be this?
I'm just trying to think because I feel like it's really difficult to like temper expectations. I feel like at a certain point you get an idea of how good something is going to be, and it's actually the more films you watch, the less likely it is that something is going to surprise you in that way.
Annoyingly, I find it more it's the latter now, where I'll watch a film and I'm like, oh,
not as good as I wanted it to be.
As opposed to, whoa, this is better than I thought it'd be.
There must have been something. A Man Escaped, Robert Bresson, very old. It's like a Holocaust prison break film.
Fucking hell.
It's genuinely incredible. Like it doesn't concern itself. Like you never see a Nazi's face in the entire film. Nice. They're always like pointing away from the camera and stuff, and it's just this guy like very calmly and like methodically breaking out of this Nazi prison. It's so good. Oh man, I can't.
And what year is that?
50s, I think.
Fucking hell. Yeah, I mean, I can't. I've rarely got any sort of like real in-depth emotional response from a really old film. I just can't do it. It's just the immersion's just not enough for me. I think the one I've got the closest to is The Great Dictator.
Yeah.
I think it's that 50s or the 40s?
40s something, before the end of World War II, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe 47, something like that.
Yeah, that one, I mean, and that's only really because of the speech at the end. Like, the rest of the film feels more of just like, okay, now we know why he says the speech at the end more than anything. Oh, yeah. So I think, like, a lot for me, like, I think the oldest film that really touched me inappropriately, and to really touch me in any way is... I'm trying to remember what's old or just what looks old.
American History X. That's in black and
white. Yeah, that's a great choice. It's quite hard to actually think what films that are old that I've actually that at least I've connected to personally. Yeah. So there's films I've watched that are old that are good. I think like, The Godfathers, I think are quite like they're on that. They are like the earliest I can really like early 70s is like the earliest I can go before I'm like.
That's a great time. A lot of change then.
got a lot of good movies.
Yeah. New Hollywood, they call that.
I'm not an old head.
No.
Where's my phone? I'm going to try and actually find out. What is my highest rated, oldest film?
Mm-hmm.
The one that comes to mind, I mean, the thing is, it's not even that old, like Yee Yee, that's 2000. But it just gives,
2000.
it just gives like old energy to me. Amadeus, that's still 2000, I think.
No, it's 1984.
Is it 84?
Yeah, it's not even close to 2000.
Fuck, it looks fucking great for 84.
Oh, yeah.
It looks really good. I would have believed it if someone told me that was 2000.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I don't even know. I couldn't tell you what specifically about Amadeus was like. I was like, holy shit, this is the one. But I just remember watching it and just being blown away.
It is a blow away movie. It is incredible.
Films. Order by, sort by highest rated first. Your rating, highest first. So, the oldest...
Come and see, that's old.
Yeah, that's pretty old. That's what, 85. It's newer than...
Not as old as I thought.
Yeah, newer than Amadeus, but I think it's shot very old.
Belarusian,
It's shot, it's shot very weird. Like I remember I remember there's parts of the film where I was like, is this because I've got like a bad download or is this what it's supposed to be?
It's so good though.
Oh, I mean,
so good.
It's so horrible.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah,
like it's horrible in the best way possible. I mean, I think I think that might be the oldest one.
Wow.
Well, I think Amadeus is the oldest one.
Yeah.
I'm just such a newbie.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Wow. Wow. I mean, when it comes to 4.5s, we've got the first Godfather. I think that is the oldest one. How old is Apocalypse Now? That's not older, is it?
It's about the same time.
79, yeah. Mr. Coppola. I mean, I only gave Amadeus a 4.5, actually. Might even change that to a 5. 84. Great Dictator's a 4.5. 40 on the dot.
Yeah.
God, that is older than I thought it'd be.
Mm-hmm.
I thought late 40s. But then again, I've got no concept of time. Great anime I watched the other night.
Yeah.
Golden Boy, 95. Classic. Yeah, no, I don't. I think our higher rated films are going to be a bit different. What is the sequel? God, that's 2003? 93. Yeah, go on, let's have a look.
All right. Keep the sound busy. This is going to be difficult. I can't do this with one hand.
No, it's a bit of a challenge, isn't it?
Films.
What's 2001 Space Odyssey? 68. So that's quite early. I gave that a 4. I mean, that's the highest rated Stanley Kubrick I've seen.
That's a great movie.
It's not bad. I think the Russian Kubrick is more my speed.
Tarkovsky. The Russian Kubrick.
Yeah. I love how you know who I mean, though.
Yeah.
At least you do know. You know. Oh, yeah. What year was Stalker? I feel like that's actually quite new. That's newer than I thought it was. 79.
I've got Cool Hand Luke at 5. That's 1960, I think.
Look at you.
Yeah, 1967. I lied. Last time I watched that, I cried the entire time.
That is impressive that you can cry at a 67 film. Good for you.
It's so good though. It's perfect.
I don't think I've cried at a film older than 2000. Did I cry at Evangelion? I feel like I cried at End of Evangelion.
Surely.
I cried at the fourth one, like the one that came out a few years ago. I wept.
Jesus wept.
Jesus wept.
What else?
I wept at it. I could have cried at Aftersun. Like I said, if I were medicated and in a room.
Oh yeah.
Might have been like. I don't think I've watched like an old Tarkovsky film.
They don't go that far back.
There is like a 60s one, isn't there?
I don't know. Ivan's Childhood, I think, was his first feature.
Yeah, I'm trying to get this load up, but my internet's like, fuck you. Yeah, it doesn't want to tell me.
Anyway.
It's not Andrei Rublev.
No. So, basically, you're saying you are prejudiced against old films.
But yeah, basically, fuck old people.
Wow.
Eat the rich, eat the old. I am in the same camp as Ringo Starr.
What camp's he in?
He's in the camp that anyone over the age of 65 should be shot.
Wow. Did he say that?
Yeah. And then someone brought it up when he was older than 65. And
so time to pay the piper, Ringo.
Yeah. Gun to your noggin.
Yeah.
No. I generally, like, I want to get, like, I think, like, there's films like, actually, I don't think it's that old, but because it's black and white, it's throwing me off as well. I've downloaded that Paths of Glory.
That's pretty old. That's 60s, I think.
Yeah. And I want that to be good, but I'm worried I'm not going to get into it enough.
It's really good.
It's like,
it is really good.
But like the films that have really hit me have like the best immersion, and it's even more impressive when they don't have that. So like a good example is Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like very static shot.
Yeah,
there's no soundtrack. The sound design's very unedited, like raw. You can hear everything. Mm-hmm. You know, there's no really dynamic shots on it.
Yeah. And
it's all set pretty much in the same place. And I was gripped like the whole time. And I found that like that's what I wish I could do with older films, but I can't as quite as much. And I think that's like always been like when I'm looking for film, especially when I was like getting into film, I'd look for films that were described as like atmospheric or not quite captivating, because that, you know, that brings up like crazy stuff, which you know, I do like a slow burn film, don't get me wrong. Like Yi Yi is not particularly captivating, but I think it's very immersive. Yeah. And it's like the same with we literally were just talking about Kogonada's first film, Columbus. Like, oh, so good. Like there's like, I think there's one tracking shot in that entire film. Yeah. But like, I mean, that has a great soundtrack, which helps with the immersion. But you just can't, like, I think it's just a very new age cinema that you can't particularly. And I think for a lot of foreign directors, so maybe there's like foreign films that have like would beat me to it. Not beat me to it, but like would have beaten. I got you, mean. So maybe, because obviously like that's why I think I'm more because Tarkovsky films feel more evolved than Kubrick films to me personally. And that's where I can kind of like, I mean, I guess Sacrifice is a bad example because it's like his newest film, like I think it's the last film I think so, made before he died. But like, that's like the perfect, like, oh my God, the first like half an hour of that film, incredible. And then the last like 20 minutes, jaw dropping. But like I watched like The Shining and I like The Shining, but I don't get that like, wow from it.
I think I should do drugs and watch The Shining at some point. I enjoy it as it is. Yeah. It's like sort of a bit of a mess.
It's chilling and it's like...
Yeah, but that's like pure vibes, I think, that movie.
It's like it's impressive to make you feel uneasy on vibes alone. Yeah. You know,
and Jack Nicholson does that just by being in the room with you.
Well, it's like one of the scariest scenes in the film is when you find him frozen to death. Yeah. And he just has that face. For some reason, that's like a scary face. Yeah.
Like, it's just Jack Nicholson.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson's just a scary looking guy.
He really is.
Like The Departed, horror film.
Yeah.
God, I fucking love The Departed. That's my favorite Jack Nicholson film, to be fair, probably.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine a different one, to be honest.
It's by far my favorite Wahlberg film.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Not.
I mean, until we watched Transformers. I don't think he's in Bumblebee.
I don't know, and I'll be honest, I don't care.
Bumblebee's got
Haley Steinberg.
Yeah, that's Tom's. Tom loves Steinberg. I kept thinking that she was Jerry Seinfeld's daughter.
Jerry Seinfeld.
She was like Steinberg, Seinfeld, the same thing.
No, God. No, it's not.
And I also don't really find her attractive, to be honest. But I find Jerry Seinfeld attractive.
Yeah, he'd get it.
He would.
He'd get it.
What a I want to say an ending. I don't think we're done quite yet. But
no.
What a place to go silent on. No, I don't really make me watch an old film.
Yeah,
See what
I'll
happens.
happily do it, but you keep refusing. So
Yeah, to be fair, I do.
Yeah.
And I did refuse. I feel bad because I think I've refused a lot of your recommendations recently, and I feel a bit bad about it.
I refuse a lot of people's recommendations.
Yeah, that's fair.
They'll come at me with like a rom-com. Hello.
Oh, hello. You might have to like. He gets a bit. Let me just.
We've got full insertion.
Yeah. He gets a bit loose. So game's pretty weak.
You know, people will be recommending me rom-coms and stuff, and I like it every so often. But they're like, you should watch this. It's feel good. And I'm like, I never want to feel good. I was looking back at the films I've watched and enjoyed last year. All of them are very depressing.
Oh yeah,
like all of them. There's not a single one that, like maybe Carol is like the only one that is vaguely happy, and it's not really.
Yeah, it's really not.
No.
Like it's not a film that comes to mind when you're like, happy film. Yeah,
I really want to lift my spirits, but like every single one.
like you don't watch it like it's a Christmas film, but you're not gonna catch me watching it on Christmas Eve.
No,
Like,
no.
No, I get that. I am like super. I don't want to say it's like gatekeepy. It's more like elitist. Like I am very much. Like if someone tells me their favorite films, and I know the films, instantly, you're shit. Man.
Yeah, you need films I've never heard of.
Yeah, if you name a film that I've never heard of, I'm gonna be like, okay, cool, I get it. You know, but yeah, like I do like a lot. Like 90% of the recommendations I get is like my friend Kieran, for example. His favorite film's Ghost in the Shell, which you think is great.
I haven't seen it.
I mean, the original's great.
Yeah.
But his favorite film is the Scarlett Johansson live action Ghost in the Shell. So anytime he ever recommends anything, I'm literally like, I can't trust you.
That's insane.
I'm not going to trust whatever you're recommending me to watch. He's like, oh yeah, you should watch that. And he loves recommending me things. He always will. Like I think it's just his personality. Like his love language is recommending things. But I'm like, I'm sorry. Like you like Scarlett Johansson. Like Ghost in the Shell. It's not gonna happen. Like I watched that with my mate. He fell asleep.
Oh my god.
I was close to falling asleep. I'm pretty sure I saw someone walk out during that film. To be fair, I saw someone walk out during Avatar.
Yeah.
I mean, some old couple just walked out of it.
It's not their tempo.
Yeah. But yeah, I just don't quite. I really have to trust. And to be honest, like 90% of what you if you recommend, Beth recommends me films, I'm probably gonna watch it. Harry probably. Even then, I think Harry does. I'm legit jealous about how much Harry can just enjoy most films.
Yeah,
like he is very generous with his ratings. James, complete shot in the dark. I just couldn't. I was just
throwing a dartboard.
If he recommends me a film, I'm either gonna despise it or love it, because that's genuinely what like you know, we both love like the Blade Runners, and we both love like the Dunes, but then he likes the Last Jedi, and I'm like, that's disgusting, you know, or like. I think it was it Doctor Strange he loved?
The second Doctor Strange.
The new one, yeah.
That's one of the worst films I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's
genuinely.
Like horrendous. Like it's just badly made.
It's so bad.
And I'm like, God.
It's awful.
And that's a lot of modern Marvel. But at the same time, then I think like there's a general consensus that She-Hulk is crap.
I have not watched any of She-Hulk.
I weirdly enjoyed it. I mean, it's mainly because it's big giant green lady, and I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, I sort of assumed.
Hell yeah. With nice long hair. I was like, yo. And it's the first like conscious sex scene in the Marvel universe.
Oh.
There is a sex scene.
The rest of them are unconscious.
Yeah. I mean, it's a kind of like, I kind of like how self-aware it is. Like, I made a joke in my review that it, like the ending of She-Hulk is literally like the same. It's the same as the ending of The Last Evangelion, Thrice Upon a Time.
Yeah.
Like it gets that meta where they're like in the studio.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny. It's a bit dumb where like she like goes to talk to Kevin, and I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, Kevin Feige's about to come up on screen.
Oh my god.
But she doesn't. It's like GLaDOS, like in this robot that like commands all the, and they're basically like the whole joke is that the finale's not that good because they ran out of budget because they're too busy making Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of funny, but it's like, wow, okay. All right, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna do great in the next Avengers. I can tell you that.
I won't know. I'm done now.
Yeah, I'm done.
It's like AA. I've got my chip. I'm racking them up every day I don't watch a Marvel movie.
Yeah,
I'm never doing it again. I'm cold turkey off them.
Fair play. I don't know. I'm probably gonna watch them when they're convenient to watch, but I'm not gonna go out my way anymore.
Yeah.
Especially like, I don't know what your relationship is with Marvel anyway, because I know a lot of people are very anti-Marvel, but like, the Infinity Saga has like a special place for me because it's like, it's that same energy as like, I think it's the best modern recreation of that same buzz you get from the Star Wars films coming out.
Yeah.
The Harry Potters, the Lord of the Rings. It's that same energy that's come back. So I will love it for that, but I'm like that. I understand that little envelope, you know.
It's done now.
You know,
it's gone.
Like Alien, great. Aliens, great. Alien 3. Is it even called Alien 3 or is it like Resolution or something?
No, that's the third one. Fourth one. Which is same director as Amelie. That's always going to drop that fact because it just chills me. Weirdly a good film in my eyes. But I think it's because it's so bad it's kind of good. Yeah. But Marvel.
Yeah, Marvel's done the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is probably, maybe She-Hulk is my Aliens Revolution.
Resurrection?
Something.
Revelation?
Yeah.
The Matrix?
It's one of those just, you know, those shun words that like they chuck at the end of films.
Yeah, yeah.
What's that Alien versus Predator one? That's just like
Requiem.
Like, what the fuck? What were we requieming?
I don't really know. A dream, I think.
It's like Prometheus. What are we Prometheing?
I don't think it's a verb.
Is Prometheus the planet? Or is it the people?
I don't know.
Aren't they?
Prometheus is a god, though. It's a Greek god.
Yeah. And then there's an alien covenant.
Yeah.
What's a covenant?
Isn't
that like a group of women?
That's a coven.
Oh, sick. I've got a coven coming over late. Sorry. Terrible.
You wish so.
We're all going to watch Aftersun.
We're all going to watch Avengers Endgame.
End holes, yeah. I think Avengers Endgame. Sorry, you carry on.
No, you carry on.
No, you carry on.
No, you carry on, bitch.
Babe. Avengers Endgame is the first film I cried to.
What?
No, I'm joking. The last film I think I like actually teared up.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, I'm crying in films all the time.
I really want to. Like I really, like I said, could have cried in that one. Felt it coming. Oh no. Have you ever sobbed to a film where you've literally cried?
Yeah.
Which one was that?
It happened after Synecdoche, New York finished.
Oh my God.
It was about 20 minutes of me weeping. And then also Amour, that killed me. I was a mess.
Amour.
Yeah.
That's a relatively recent film, isn't it?
2013, I think.
Okay, not as recent as I thought.
Yeah.
Man, maybe I should watch that shit then.
You should.
I want to cry my eyes out.
Yeah, it's so sad. Oh my God.
I'm trying to think. Didn't cry at either of those, to be fair. Or because I haven't seen one of them. Yeah, sobbing. I sobbed to 1917.
Yeah.
And it was and this is a thing I'm noticing more recently. And I've also realized I've lied about the Endgame thing. I have cried to something before, like more recent than that. A more commendable cry.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the right word. But no, so cried to the end of 1918, like sobbed. Like
1918?
1917.
Bring a new one out.
Yeah, no, only I've seen it. Yeah, the squeakquel. Yeah, no, I cried. Oh, mate, I was in the cinema. And I remember, like, I watched it with my whole family, and like they get up to leave, and I was just sat there. So I was like, "I'll meet you out there. I'm just gonna sob during the credits for a bit." And it was this. I think it was the second or maybe even the third time I'd watched it. And I was just like, "Yeah, this is 5. I can't sob the way I just did and not give it 5 stars."
Yeah.
But no, more recently, the third time I'd rewatched Your Name.
Yeah.
I cried. And I'm starting to notice this now. It's the same with the second time I watched Nomadland. First time I didn't cry. Second time I cried. I think it was like the 5th time I watched Call Me By Your Name. I cried a few times before then to that film, but like I sobbed.
Yeah.
I hadn't slept for the entire night. I was having a really bad night. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stick on Call Me by Your Name at like 5, 6 a.m. My sister came downstairs in the morning, literally just as the credits were rolling, and I was just like crying. Like, and it was beautiful, to be honest. I needed that.
Yeah.
Like that, that scene. I think I've actually shouted out the father scene at the end so many times on the podcast, because it is just free therapy. So if you ever need if you got daddy issues or just parental problems with your relationship with your parents, just watch that scene. You don't even have to watch the whole film, especially if you're not into that. Especially if you're homophobic, don't watch it. But yeah, hit different. Same.
Yeah.
You've seen Portrait, haven't you?
Oh yeah.
That, like, the last, I cried when she's watching
the opera
at the end, and she's crying, and I'm like,
yeah, something about that, innit?
Oh, that's good stuff.
That's a very emotional scene. That's poetic cinema right there.
Yeah. So fuck comedy films. Like, it's really hard to find a good comedy.
Yeah.
I think in a way, good comedies are more kino than like good sad films.
Yeah.
Because like Marley and Me is not a good film.
Oh god, that's not the sentence I expected to start right then.
It's not a good film, but like I will cry like a bitch when the dog dies.
Yeah.
And every person with a moral, sense
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
But it's not a good film.
Yeah.
And it's just
but
like,
you kill a dog and it's easy.
Yeah, you've done it. You know, boom. But like, to get me to really find a film funny, it's like, no, it's got to be pretty good funny.
Yeah. I think I'm kind of the opposite with that, because I have found that I laugh a lot more than other people. When I was doing my film degree, we'd like watch films in a cinema as a like class, and I would be the only one laughing at a lot of things. We watched The Producers in this class, and I was dying with laughter and no one else was laughing.
Amazing.
It was very upsetting to me.
No,
in a way.
I sometimes, like, I don't get me wrong, I love when you find stuff, like when we're watching something and you start cracking up, it makes me find it even funnier.
Yeah.
But then there is a point where I'm like, I get insecure in myself, where I'm like, do I just not have a sense of humor? Like, am I just empty? Because Joe's having a whale of a time, and I'm like, but at the same time, it's like, no, actually, this is hilarious.
Yeah. I'm just right.
Yeah, you are correct.
I'm objectively correct. Everyone else has a sense of humor. I'm built from it.
You are humor.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're born in it.
Yeah.
Molded
by
You're a big guy.
That's absolutely untrue.
For you.
I get insecure about that a little bit as well. How much I laugh, because it does make me think that, because I think I'm at a point in my life where people have actually call me funny now. So it's sort of harder for me for my engine of self-hate to convince myself that I'm not, because people keep saying that I am.
You're a funny guy.
So when I think about how much I laugh at stuff, I'm like, am I just an idiot? Am I just a clown? Am I a fool?
Am I a silly guy?
Am I just silly? Am I not funny? Am I just silly?
A silly boy. No, I do like that though. I like being able to do that.
Yeah.
100%. Like, just finding anything funny is just laughing at shit.
I have standards. I'll say that. But like,
I mean, it was like the other night when, during New Year's, James, my friend James was stuck out the front of the house because my other friend Nick didn't think to answer the door during midnight. We were all celebrating and James was out in the rain out front, and he comes in like 10 minutes later. I've never laughed so hard in my life, but I was by far the only person in the room finding it as funny as I did. And I literally I gave myself like a cramp. Like, I found it so fucking funny. And I was like, good for me, good for me to find that so funny. And I'm the same with other things. And especially like when you're like an elitist film prick, you've got to try and have that perspective when you watch comedies. Like, I have to be like, no. Like, come on. Like, it's not deep. Like, let's just enjoy myself. Let's just, but there are comedies that are genuinely pretty kino. Like I Love You Man. I watched that recently.
Now's not the time. No, I haven't seen that.
Paul Rudd and I'd watched it ages ago, but there's a friend of mine who I used to work with, Tom. He would quote it all the fucking time. Because there's all these just stupid lines that are fucking hilarious. Where there's stuff like this guy like just awkwardly on the phone, he just hangs up. He says like before he says bye, he just like later's on the Menjay. And it's like, what the fuck is that? Like, what are you talking about? Or like, and like everyone else in the film acknowledges this as well. So it's kind of like, it is like hilariously out of context. And it's also the same. There's like, it's like, oh, see you later, or I'll see you at another time. And then hangs up. And I was like, what is like, and just there's so many of these like weird little quotable funny bits in that film. And it is like, am I just liking this? Am I finding this so funny because I know my mates just keeps quoting this shit?
Yeah.
But then at the same time, it's like, no, this is actually pretty good. And I will rate it to reflect how funny I found it.
Which is 5 out of 5.
Yeah. No, it was like a 3.
It was all right.
It was like a 2, 2.5. Yeah, see, like if you put a gun to my head and said name like a really good comedy. Okay, I'm gonna put a gun to your head right now and name like a really good comedy film.
I feel like everything Noah Baumbach does is very funny. Mistress America is very funny. I was dying. What Mistress America is like this sort of it's sort of movie where you have to buffer your laughs because you're laughing too hard, so you have to try and laugh more quietly to hear the jokes because otherwise you can laugh over them. That's the sort of movie that is. It's so good. It's perfect.
So I've only seen 2. Marriage Story has some funny moments, but it's not really supposed to be funny.
That's a sad movie written by a funny guy.
Yeah. What was it? The Meyerowitz stories?
Oh my God, that's so funny to me.
I maybe found it funny like 3 times.
I was dying to that.
I don't know how you do it. I'm impressed.
It's Judaism. I'm not Jewish, but for some reason, Jewish comedy I find incredibly funny.
No, I think I do kind of like, I don't say incredibly funny, but I do find it funnier than the other religious comedies.
Goyish comedy.
Yeah. See, I'm trying to even think like comedic timing wise, because I think the comedic timing's what does it for me. Because a lot of comedies are so on the nose with the comedic timing that it's just not quite funny for me. It's like, oh yeah, that's a joke. I think We're the Millers is a weird one in my heart because it's in the new age of like when they're just churning out comedy blockbusters sort of good like A-list cast and it's funny, Jennifer Aniston, all of this, but it is like there's genuinely well written jokes in that kind of crack me up. And so when someone says name a good comedy, that's one of the first that comes to mind. The same with like, I think the Jump Streets are actually pretty funny, but they have been kind of like damaged by the cult of people who are like, my name's Jeff, but then like at the same time, if said by the right person, my name's Jeff is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, as long as they're not called Jeff, then otherwise it's sincere.
It loops around.
Yeah.
I think I'm in so many layers.
If Trump said
ironic,
my name's Jeff, I feel like that'd do numbers.
Yeah, I would literally cry. I would.
If he got the nomination again and went to a presidential debate, said my name's Jeff, and then walked off stage,
I'd literally,
I'd have to get American citizenship.
Yeah, I'd vote. But then if someone like Ted Cruz said,
exactly, not funny,
or Rishi Sunak, if he said my name Jeff,
I don't know. I think I'd like that. in like, I think that's like 3 levels of irony.
Okay, at that point. But you understand. I love how there is a tier. There's other levels and tiers to.
It loops around like a pirouetting ballerina.
Yeah, which is why I think I find We're the Millers now so like quite funny. But then again, I think now like that was like 2 years ago. I think if I watched it now, I wouldn't find it that funny.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh my God, Golden Boy. The thing did you watch the swimming?
Yeah.
That's literally, that is like my perfect. Like I was crying watching I think it's like 3 hours to watch the entire series. So it's effectively like just a slightly long film. Oh my God. Like it's on this level, like the dub is so bad, but like I think it's supposed to be bad. So it's fucking hilarious. But then sometimes the comedic timing of the dub is so good that I'm like, there's no way that they've done this by accident.
Yeah.
And it just has, just fucking finding stuff funny is fucking weird.
Yeah. I've tried to show people Tim and Eric things, like sometime the sort that they've said, Tim and Eric have said before.
Are these the movie review guys?
No. You know the free real estate meme?
Yeah.
That's Tim and Eric.
Oh,
on cinema, the cinema you're talking about. Yeah. That's like a different thing. That's just Tim from Tim and Eric. But yeah. They've said that people email them and tell them, no one I know likes you, but I like you.
Yeah.
That's the exact type of comedy it is. So like, it's the sort of thing where 50% of it, I'm like, that's weird. And then the other 50%, I'm just like, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I've shown people it, and it's probably the most awkward moments of my life, which is saying something.
Well, Louis, who's been on the podcast, he has the same, like, there's a lot of stuff. So he really likes cinema on cinema. Is that what's called?
Mm-hmm. On cinema, at the cinema.
On cinema. He loves that.
It's so good.
It doesn't quite get me, but some of the Tim and Eric stuff does get me. Like, I mean, obviously, the free real estate sketch, amazing. But that's almost like too easy. Yeah. If that makes sense. One other guy who I've found fucking hilarious, and I think I only really got into it since he's died, Norm. Yeah. I spent like a whole night watching.
That's another one I've shown other people, and they've not.
It's just finally clicked.
It's not hit them, but
it's like the how about 9/11 things. At first, when I was like, that's stupid. 9/11 jokes are mid, you know. But then like after a while, I'm like, nah, this is actually fucking genius. Yeah. And it's like oh yeah, someone else wrote these. Yeah. You know, when he's reading off the card, I'm like,
so
this
good.
It's like, yeah, I don't know what this is. Someone else wrote. I'm like, that is literally fucking kills me. Yeah. But like, when I think Louis sent me some Norm stuff like ages ago, and I was like, I'm not on this realm yet. Like I'm getting there, but like that's not. Yeah. You know, I'm still
not your level of enlightenment. Yeah. You need more meditation.
I know I'm going to get to a point where ASDF movie becomes funny again, like that level of irony, and then
I'm also not at that level.
That's the pinnacle, you know. That's the final.
I think sort of cackling incoherently forever at nothing is the ultimate level, where like nothing but mirth is in your life anymore. There's no sadness. It's just screaming with laughter.
Yeah, it's just absurdism. Yeah, it's like you know.
And I think that's the state we all need to strive towards.
I think that's insanity. I think that's hysteria.
Yeah, but I feel like that's working everything out at some point. There's are we not all trying to become free from
it's
despair?
like the psychopath is the genius.
Exactly.
Whoever it is.
Yeah. You want to be like a dog where everything is just exciting.
Oh, I would love to be a dog.
That's my dream. That's my dream. To be quite honest.
Yeah, just to be excited by anything.
Yeah. It has been said that autistic people are like cats. And then people with Down syndrome are like dogs.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Yeah.
And so I'm stuck being a cat.
I feel like
they say everybody wants to be a cat, but that's a lie. That's just a song in a Disney movie.
Yeah. No one.
Everyone wants to be a cat, but they don't like tell you what it's like when you become a cat.
It's actually just, I mean, I feel like cats are all like pessimistic stoics.
Yes.
You know.
And that's my life.
Damn.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the Irish greyhound, the little fucking ratty greyhound, small things. Yeah. That are nervous all the time. I hate them. I literally fucking hate them. But I am also like, that's me. And that's something I've been unwrapping in therapy for a while.
Really? Just specifically the little greyhound?
No. I think okay, this is actually genuinely. This is genuinely something that I have an issue with, everyone who knows me knows I have a very outward acceptance that small dogs like I fucking hate the majority of small dogs.
Yeah.
There's some like ethical reasons, because obviously like a lot of the reason small dogs even exist is because of like the breed, like especially, you know, like pugs, French bulldogs, and like chihuahuas, but also like the majority of small dogs. I'm just like, you're incapable of doing anything.
Yeah.
You're a pussy.
Yeah.
Or like worst comes to worst, you're a small dog, but you start shouting and kicking off. I'm like, fucking shut up. Like you're just a waste of space. Nobody likes you.
Yeah.
And then I also find small dog personalities the most relatable ever.
Yeah.
In the same sentence, you know? So it's like, what needs unpacking there? What's going on there? You know? Like I don't like if you put if you put a nervous greyhound and like the coolest, like most stoic Doberman in front of me, I'm gonna love the Doberman, but I'm gonna relate more to the greyhound.
Yeah, you're gonna fist bump the greyhound.
Yeah, I'm gonna say me.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna be
I feel you.
I'm gonna fist bump the Doberman, but I'm gonna be like, fuck, stupid greyhound. Why are you being such a pussy?
And then a mirror will slowly slide in front of the greyhound.
And then I'll have a dream that I'll look in the mirror and I'm a greyhound.
And you have the face of a greyhound.
Yeah.
It's just your eyes have become a greyhound's eyes.
Oh god.
Yeah, like the end of Thriller.
Oh god, don't.
You would not believe the amount of people I've talked to about the how upsetting the end of Thriller is.
The end of and I found
just with the cat's eyes.
Yeah. No, I literally this has been I saw it, I think it was a TikTok recently of a girl being made fun of because she has a fear of Michael Jackson, and I was like, no, that makes sense.
I think it makes sense in a lot of ways, to be honest.
But like, you know, ending of Thriller, good example. That shit terrified me. The other thing is, have you seen like the Michael Jackson jump scare face?
No.
It's just like this really terrible, I don't know if it's like a Michael Jackson, it's just this horrible face that is like Michael Jackson, but I don't know if it actually is. That fucking chilled me. I had an ex-girlfriend who would literally just fucking bully me all the time. I think at one point, like, she woke me up with the picture of it in front of her face.
Oh my god.
Like, she was just like, you know, she loved it.
That's horrible.
And I was like, thanks, this is traumatizing. And then yeah, I mean, obviously it's Michael Jackson. He's done some pretty some things.
Should be feared.
Should be a feared man.
Yeah.
But he does make good music.
So we'll let him have it.
I listen to some of the Michael Jackson song. Oh.
Yeah.
No, sorry. I was making a reference to, have you they heard the Kanye West, speaking of problematic people, the Kanye West, like, where he's like, I listened to some of the Gaga song. But what the fuck does she know about cameras? Because she's the fucking, she's the creative director of Polaroid. I listened to some of the Gaga song. Oh, I don't even think I should be.
Just quoting Kanye West now.
Nightcall's been cancelled. It just kills me.
Yeah.
Sorry, completely off. Like, that was chaotically off topic. We've been pretty off topic the majority of this, but that was too far. I've crossed the line.
Yeah, I have no idea where we've gone. Oh yeah, Thriller, the cat's eyes.
Yeah, traumatized.
Talking about dog.
And
We've worked our way back to the dogs.
Yeah, I'm the traumatized greyhound.
Yeah.
When this is why I can't watch. I can't remember what the film is.
Thriller.
No, no, you don't even know what I'm trying to reference now.
Traumatized dog.
Traumatized dog.
How am I going to get this? Clifford.
You're not going to get it. No, it's not. Oh, no, don't
test me.
It's gone. It's gone.
It's going to be something absolutely
No,
random.
it's the last film that I couldn't watch because I was too anxious to watch it.
The Descent.
That's the one.
There we go. You said I wasn't going to get it, and I got it.
Well, because I fucking spoon fed it to you.
Wow. I can't believe you're taking my accomplishment away from me.
How dare
This is disgusting.
I'm the quivering greyhound watching The Descent.
Yeah.
No, I think I could watch that. I was going to suggest watching it tomorrow.
Yeah.
On my birthday, but at the same time, if I wanted to watch a film on my birthday, as much as I do want to watch The Descent, it's probably not The Descent.
Yeah. It's Wreck.
It's Wreck.
Yeah.
No, if you want to, I'll make you watch Redline, which is great.
Yeah.
It's that's another film that's like just so effortlessly funny. Harry, I think Harry still has one of the quotes as his letterbox bio. It's like, Mr. President, we need to protect the city from Funky Boy or something. It's just fucking hilarious. I can't bother to fucking look it up anyway. Oh god, it's a good film. Good film. But yeah,
I'll tell you which cat I am. my friend's cat with the heart condition. I was at theirs for New Year's, and I was sleeping in their loft, and the cat was...
Did they know you were there?
No, I snuck in. No, there's a bed in there. And yeah.
Okay. Just clarify that.
The cat was like under the bed most of the time because she's so nervous.
Yeah.
And I was like having a breakdown at 3 a.m. because that's my life at this point.
Yeah.
And I was just sitting up with this little black cat and just hanging out.
To him.
Yeah, it was a very serene time until the other cat came up and like scared her.
Just bully.
Smacking him right in the face.
What a prick.
Yeah, they had to practice their boxing apparently.
At 3 a.m. That's what my cats do. They practice their boxing at 3 a.m. Yeah, no, I've had like many moments where I've shared a moment with my cat at like 3 in the morning when I've woken up and not been in the best of places.
Yeah.
They're good for that. And you know what's not good for that? Small dogs. They'll just be fucking annoying. You'll be having like a panic attack and it'll be humping your leg and it'll be like, fuck off. I'm trying to fucking count sheep in my head or whatever it is. I'm trying to name, what's the latest technique to get out of a panic attack? It's like name one thing you can see, 2 things you can taste, 3 things you can smell.
That's a lot to remember, is the thing.
Yeah, it's like, fuck off. Can you not see I'm having a panic attack? I haven't got time for this.
You got time to think about things.
Yeah. I'm too busy thinking about the fact that I'm going to die in a minute now. So ridiculous. I'm not doing that shit. No, I watch a guy on every time I have a panic attack now. It doesn't necessarily work, but I do it anyway. I watch this guy.
It's better to have a chance to work than do nothing at all.
I watch this guy on YouTube. He's just this old guy. He's like, it's like the camera quality's pretty bad. He's like very unkempt, like long hair and beard, and he's in front of he's clearly just put up like a duvet cover to be the backdrop. And he just has this nice calming voice, and he's like, "You've probably clicked on this video because you are in the process of having a panic. And I hope that my words and how I describe, right now will provide, and you will." And, he's like very like, "And for the next 20 minutes or so, I'm going to tell you how to not have a panic." And it's like really good. It's really calming. Like he's definitely I found him recently. Funny enough, when I relapsed year before last, and I was like, oh yeah, this guy does the job. But I only listen to him when the panic attacks are so bad. So now there's like a weird relationship where I will not put him on because
it's like drugs.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
Well, you only do it when it's like so bad. Yeah, and you need it.
Yeah,
you're trying to kick it.
Yeah, because I feel like if I watch the...
it's like an alcoholic when they're like, things going fine, I haven't drunk anything. Yeah. But if it gets really bad, I'll start.
Yeah, but it's more like... My relationship with it is not that it's like a last resort. It's that if I put it on, it means it's bad, so I'll feel worse because it's bad.
I think drugs work like that.
Yeah.
I'm not a drug addict, but
I'm not.
From what I've read.
I don't do drugs, but I think that's what drugs would be like.
Yeah.
So if I did do drugs, I'd watch... movies.
Yeah.
The Shining. Yeah, no. I did actually want to talk about that when you were talking about doing drugs.
Yeah.
Shining. It's like there are some films I want to revisit.
Yeah.
As someone who's completely straight edge, that I would want to revisit and do drugs.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be The Shining.
What would it be?
I don't know.
End of Evangelion, I would 100% do.
God, yeah. And like the original End of Evangelion, I think, probably it depends. I mean, obviously it depends on the drug, and I don't know how the drugs make you feel enough to kind of make an actual decision.
Yeah.
So I've known a lot of people to love really bad films because they've been on drugs, and that's what I'm scared of.
It's like being on a plane. Yeah. In a way, like planes make movies so much better.
Yeah.
Because you don't have oxygen.
Yeah. You're just euphoric the whole time.
Yeah. There's so many films that I cannot believe I've watched just because I've watched them on planes. I was crying at Call Me By Your Name on a plane. That was a weird time.
Wow. I've never cried at a film on a plane. To be honest, I can't remember the last film I watched on a plane.
I haven't been on a plane since that flight with Call Me By Your Name.
Was that Borneo?
No, this was Hong Kong. Different mental breakdown.
Sorry. Yeah, absolutely.
I had a mental breakdown in a Hong Kong Disneyland.
Fucking no way.
Yeah, there was an electro version of Zippity Doodah playing, and it was just so much. Like, it was, the parades in Disneyland.
Yeah.
Where it's just going through, and I was like right by the entrance, so that I couldn't retreat any further without just leaving.
Yeah.
So and this parade was coming towards me with this electro version of Zippity Doodah. It was like, it was like a nightmare directed by David Lynch. It was
amazing.
Where you feel like there's some sort of significance to what is happening right now, but it's so absurd that nothing makes sense. And I ran to the disabled toilets and started crying.
Nice.
And it was just hard, like being in Hong Kong, because this was a trip with university.
Yeah.
So I didn't really know anyone there.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Very alienating experience. Jesus.
And like the parade was happening. I was separated from everyone who was on the trip with. So I was just on my own, being assaulted by. And the thing about this parade is that none of these characters were from Disney properties at all. They were just like space people. They weren't like, you know how Disney parades have like Disney princesses. Yeah. We all love them. That's why we go there, so we can wave at the Disney princesses and Goofy. But these were just dancers. There were no actual characters in this horrible, like nightmare-inducing song playing. Yeah, that's a core memory for me.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
Yeah, and that's why I haven't been abroad since. So that was when I first went on antidepressants. After that experience, I was literally in the toilet right then. I was like, I have to do something about this.
Yeah, this has to stop.
Because that was like the culmination of like a year. What
was that? Rock bottom.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah. I've been lower now, but that was my first rock bottom.
Yeah, I've got a better score on that now.
Yeah. Oh, easily.
I've beat that shit.
Yeah.
No, I had a similar thing with not quite as a core memory as that, because there was nothing, at least like as someone an outsider, like I can find that I'll be like, fucking hell. But like for me, my one sounds like it should be the perfect safe space, but it just it wasn't. Like so last time I flew, I went to Italy. This is when I was like 22, 21. And we were in this vineyard in Tuscany. Yeah. And the first night I just had the fucking like craziest like breakdown, panic attack, strung out over like hours and hours and hours. And pretty much the entire holiday was me. Like, I go back and look at the pictures of me. I'm just like pale, gaunt the whole time. My eye bags, like I literally, like my eyes are like bloodshot the whole time. I just don't look well. Yeah. And because it just fucked me up. And I don't know if I think I wasn't in a good place at the time anyway, but I think on top of that, there was a lot of like, just culture shock. Out of my comfort zone stuff that I was just like,
this is where all these things happen. It's a limbo. It's when you're away from home.
Yeah, it's when because you're forced to face things. Yeah, like more in demand. And God, that is literally like, so going back to Aftersun. Funny enough, it is that same thing of like, fuck, like. Because whilst I was watching Aftersun, I was like, why is this specifically based? Like, this is the themes could be orchestrated. It doesn't have to be on holiday. It doesn't have to be in the resort. But then the more I watched it, the more I was like, well, no, this makes perfect sense, because this is the same place I've had these moments myself. Yeah. So I had it with Italy. I had it with Lanzarote as well. Like, where Lanzarote was less anxiety. It was more kind of, I think the last Lanzarote trip was the more I started to realize, I don't want to say realize, but how I started to perceive the world in a darker light. And I think mentally it put me in a weird place. Like, I remember, I think at the time I was texting Beth before bed. And I think this was back when I just used to just trauma dump on her. And I felt really bad that I used to do that, but I was just not happy. And like, she went to bed, and then I was laid out on the patio waiting for the guy to come over and steal me. And listened to Drake and cried.
That is rock bottom.
Oh yeah. I mean, good Drake. Which if it could exist in my eyes, can. I mean, I'm a bit of a Drake fan, to be fair, but like the Nothing Was the Same album. I think I was listening to. It's literally called like the whole opening. I think it's who is it? What's his name? It might be Paolo. No, it's not Paolo Nutini. It's
you get nothing from me on this.
Yeah, don't worry. It's I can't remember his name. It's one of those like soul singers. Like really, he's like
Aretha Franklin.
No, shut the fuck up. At the beginning, he's like, "Don't think about it too much," and I'm just like, "But I am, but I am," and I just cried like fuck to that song. And I think from now, like it's rooted in the way I perceive things. Where I'm like, if I go on holiday now, I don't call it a holiday anymore. I can't call it because a holiday feels like a vulnerable place now.
Yeah,
I'll call it a trip.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm off on a trip. And when I'm on that trip, I'm going to do stuff. 90% of the trips I go on, I come back from more exhausted because I want to make sure I'm doing something the whole time.
Yeah, so the voices don't stop.
So the voices don't kick off. Like, I think that was another thing about Italy. Like, the other big thing is I think it realized my attachment to, like, the internet as well, because it's, like, no service.
Yeah.
I brought 2 books and I read both of them twice in 2 weeks. Like I was just if I had the moment to breathe, I had the moment to read.
Yeah.
Because it was just something my eyes could watch and not be like,
Yeah, stop the voices.
Exactly. So I mean, now I'm trying to fix that relationship with reading, but can't fix that relationship with holidays.
Better to read than not read, really.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. I'm just letting this cat lick my toe.
Yeah, let me have a little taste.
Yeah. Get those dogs out.
Get the dogs out.
Yeah.
Good film. Yeah, so thank you for listening to our comprehensive review.
My foot is being attacked now. This is such a good way to end it.
Lovely. Loki's come in and he's been our guy on the ground being like, right guys, let's bring this to a close.
Pull the plug.
By jumping on feet. But yeah, that was our comprehensive review of Aftersun.
Yeah.
What did you give it? 4 stars?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave it 4.5, I was kind of feeling a bit generous.
It's fine.
Right, that's us done. Let's roll it out.